Last thing before we go tonight, an analog man in the digital age. It's been said that Donald Trump, for all his 14 years in reality television, a show that came out of this building, that he is not used to media scrutiny. And think about it. Nothing aired on Apprentice unless he wanted it to. Much of the tabloid coverage he received for years here in New York were stories he gave the tabloids. And remember, he ran a family company, not a public company, so there was only minimal scrutiny. And now the scrutiny he's under, it goes way beyond fact-checking his every aside. It turns out that while he was still in civilian life, the pixel became a thing, and the age of digital photography arrived. And in a few notable cases, this president, who is so television camera aware, has been less than resolute about hiding his notes from high-resolution still cameras. There was his listening session after the Parkland school shooting. "I hear you" was clearly visible in the penmanship of Hope Hicks. There was the note last summer that there was no collusion, in case you hadn't heard. A few weeks back, after an aborted meeting with the Democrats, we could read, "They want to impeach me," and "The Dems have no accomplishments," just for starters. Other apparent analog people in the Trump circle include John Bolton, who got the unintended attention of military families a few weeks back with 5,000 troops to Colombia. Chris Kobach of Kansas badly wanted to run Homeland Security. He showed up at a transition meeting with his plan for a rapid build of almost 2,000 miles of wall as part of the Kobach strategic plan. Then just today, while millions of Americans continue to come to grips with the fact that we have a president who talks like this, there were his talking points, compiled and composited from fleeting still photos, starting with his unique spelling for Al-Qaeda and some people, and on through lines like calling the 4 congresswomen anti-Semitic and anti-American, accusing them of socialism, saying they can leave if they're not happy here. Making things especially perilous is the president's preferred use of a Sharpie for notations, because as he's learning, it leaves a big, bold line, and most of the time, there's somebody watching. That is our broadcast for tonight. Thank you so much for being here with us as we start a new week, and good night from our NBC News headquarters here in New York.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.